Good morning. I am Colleen Fitzgerald, and I'll be presenting today's service. Lisa Merrill Price is providing technical assistance. Please be aware we are recording the service so we can post it on YouTube, but for privacy, we do not record or post the joys and concerns. We'll save announcements for the end of service after the extinguishing of our chalice. We greet you today as you join us in a wider search for truth and purpose. In this quest, may we encounter one another with open hearts and minds. May we inspire each other to consider new questions and seek deeper meaning. And may we cultivate wisdom and compassion. Let all who enter this place see a welcome face, hear a kind word, and find comfort in this community. May all that we do and say here today help us to be a force for positive change in the world. For those of you who are new to us, please note that we are a diverse group with a wide variety of interests and beliefs, and therefore our services are varied in format, tone, and topic. We encourage you to attend or view several services to gain a good understanding of our congregation. If you'd like to start receiving our newsletter, please write your contact information on the blue information card on the seat back pockets. Lisa's holding one up. And place those in the box on the greeting table on your way out. And now please take a moment to greet your neighbors. Today, the chalice will be lit by Hannah Maccabee. I do too. Please join me in reading the words provided for the chalice lighting. Here we are together, each facing our different human tasks, or maybe the same central one. To embrace the lessons life delivers, to discern and respond as we grow, to refuse harm and cherish flourishing. May we know ourselves as vessels of infinite possibility, holders of each other's heartaches and tales of joy alike, weavers of one story in which we each have a part. Okay, and this morning's story for all ages is a selection Tina chose for us. It is called What the Road Said by Cleo Wade.
Hi everyone, this is Cleo Wade, and I'm going to be reading from my new book called What the Road Said for Barnes & Noble Storytime, and I hope you enjoy. What the Road Said by Cleo Wade, illustrated by Lucy de Moyencourt. Have you ever wanted to go in a different direction? Have you ever wondered if there was something more, something out there, something just different? I did too. Then one day I was walking my usual way home when out of nowhere, for no reason at all, almost as if it were magic, a road appeared. I could not believe my eyes, so I walked over to it and I said to the road, "Where do you lead?" The road said, "Be a leader and find out." "How do I start?" I asked. The road smiled and said, "You have already started." "Well, what happens when I get there?" "We have just begun," said the road. "Do not skip straight to the ending. Enjoy the beginning and the middle too." "Which way do I go?" That is your choice to make, said the road. But what if I go the wrong way? The road curved a little, almost as if it was giving me a hug, and said, do not worry. Sometimes we go the wrong way on our way to the right way. What if I get scared? That is okay. You are brave, said the road. But what does it mean to be brave, I asked. The road guided me through a very gloomy forest, and even though I was frightened, I trusted the road. And as I took one step and then another step after that, the road gently whispered, being brave is when you are afraid of doing something, but you do it anyway. Do not let what scares you keep you from continuing on your path. Will I always move forward? Not always, said the road. Why not? Because sometimes you will stumble backward and sometimes you will stand still. What if I fall? Everyone falls at some point, said the road, but I will always be there when you land. What if I get lost? There may be some days that feel very long and dark, said the road, but I promise that no matter what, I will give you the evening stars and the morning sun to light your way. What if I grow weary or get hurt? I will give you trees of all shapes and sizes to shelter you when you need to rest and heal, said the road. What if I get lonely? You are never alone, said the road. What if I change? Come with me, said the road. And as I moved forward, the road introduced me to a caterpillar and a family of seeds. We did not stay long. The road began taking me on a journey through the seasons. I watched summer turn to fall and fall turn to winter, and as spring was upon us, I realized we had gone in one big, beautiful circle. I looked down and found I was standing in front of the caterpillar and the seeds once more. Only the caterpillar was no longer a caterpillar, and the seeds had turned to flowers of every color. The road then raised me up and said, all things grow and change. That is the magic of being alive. You too will find your wings. You too will bloom. No living thing is meant to stay the same. What if I need help on my journey? Ask your fellow travelers along the way. What if they are mean to me? Lead them to kindness, said the road. How? By being kind. What if they want to fight? Lead them to peace, said the road. But how do I lead them to peace? By listening to their stories, telling them yours, and reminding them that you are all on this journey together. What if the world around us is filled with hate? Lead it to love. How? By sharing the power of your love with it, said the road. What if something unexpected happens? Keep going. What if there are mountains that feel too tall to climb? What if there are rivers that feel too wide to cross? What if I get my heart broken? What if I feel stuck? What if giving up is easier? Keep going, keep going, keep going, said the road. What if I can't do it? You can, said the road. How do you know? Because you have come this far, said the road. I said to the road, where do you lead? The road said, be a leader and find out. The end. Thank you so much for...
And now we'll have joys and concerns and then sing the RE children out. If you have babies, you're welcome to keep them in the sanctuary with you. Or as an option, we do have a cry room with the live stream set up of the service if you find that later on during the service you need that. For joys and concerns at MVUUC, we use the elements of stone and water to help us give voice to our deepest feelings and share life's blessings and hardships with one another. Please come up and share your joys and concerns.
Okay, let's do our first musical selection for today. It is hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. You can find it in your gray hymnal, number 361, but I think the lyrics will, there they are. The lyrics are also on the sheet. So here we go. Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. And now we will sing the kids out.
Great. Thank you, Megan. Our opening words today are from Ralph Waldo Emerson from the year 1876. He wrote, "By his machines, man can dive and remain underwater like a shark, can fly like a hawk in the air, can see atoms like a gnat, can see the system of the universe of Uriel, the angel of the sun, can carry whatever loads a ton of coal can lift, can knock down cities with his fist of gunpowder, can recover the history of his race by the metals which the deluge and every creature, civil or savage or brute, has involuntarily dropped of its existence, and divine the future possibility of the planet and its inhabitants by his perception of laws of nature." Today's reflection comes from the Reverend Nell Newton of the Amarillo Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, and it's entitled "Living as If." Reverend Newton writes, "Back when I was still new to Texas, I met up with black-eyed peas for the first time. I was not impressed. Despite the seasonings, to my upper Midwestern palate, they tasted like dirt. So I avoided black-eyed peas for several years, until I was talking with a friend from Alabama, and the subject of peas came up. I probably wrinkled my nose and said, 'I don't get what all the fuss is about. They taste like mud.' My friend tipped her head and said, 'Well, that's part of their charm.' Once I realized that it was part of their charm, I tried them again, but this time approached them as if that muddy taste might be charming. And within a few more tries, I was hooked. Now, I might love a red bean or a butter bean a bit more, but I have truly found the muddy charm of a black-eyed pea. Living as if flies against strict rationality that tells you to deal with only and exactly what is, and encourages you to consider what might be. I consider it a way to break up my certainty and remain flexible in this world. Consider something that is uncomfortable, annoying, muddy tasting, or flat out ominous, and go exploring into how you can engage or respond to it differently. In psychotherapy, this practice is called reframing. Cognitive reframing consists of identifying and then displacing certain thoughts with ideas or thoughts that are more positive. It's a useful way of reducing the power that fears have over us. Examine your thoughts and see if you can shift them in a less fearful, more affirming direction. Dreading an upcoming conversation? Think about how it might go well, how you will probably learn something that you didn't know before, about who you want to be after the conversation. And then go have that conversation as if all of the positive things are possible. It might still be difficult, but you will have more control over how you respond and interpret the outcome. What about an impending snowstorm? What if it gets icy? What if, while going out to pick up the newspaper, I slip on the ice and bust my backside? Yes, that is possible. But instead, I can reframe my anticipation of the cold weather differently. If it gets icy, I can stop to marvel at the ice patterns on my windows and notice how the sunlight is broken into a million shimmering rainbows on the grass in my front lawn. Perhaps then I will walk as if this world is filled with beauty instead of danger. I might also just wait for the snow to melt and read the news online, or take a cue from the weather and just not pay attention to the news for a day. What might this mean in terms of our interactions with one another? Do you find yourself disappointed by other people on a daily basis? How would you go about your chores and errands as if every person you meet today has a gift, including you? What would be different if you acted as if each person matters, even a person who is really different from you? What might be different in your interactions with that person? Can you still see a spark of the divine in them, or a gift, or their simple desire to be a good person? If your life was made difficult by another person, consider living as if that person had been trying to do their best. Most people are. They might have harmed you and made a wreck of things, but unless they were seriously unwell, they probably thought they were doing the best thing. It might take some visits with a counselor and some serious reframing work, but in time, the pain can be eased. Here's another way I practice living as if. When we do some of our Tai Chi forms, we move in a way that imitates animals and elements of nature. We imitate birds and snakes and tigers. We create waves of water, grow like trees, rise up like mountains, and blow like the wind. I know I am not a tree, an ocean, or a snake, but in moving as if I were, I come to understand them better. By drawing the shape of branches and leaves, or moving my arms like wings, I have more awareness of what makes a tree beautiful and what makes a bird powerful. What would be different if you lived as if animals have feelings and important concerns? Would you have to adjust how you interpret their behaviors and your own? Would you eat them differently? How would you conduct yourself living as if your life were an ongoing process of discovery? What might happen if you carried on as if there were a great mother who was with you during the awful moments? A love that abides with you and laughs at you and nudges you to be your best self. What would be different if you prayed as if prayers you utter were heard by the universe and manifested as change within you and ultimately out into the world? Our next musical selection is Touch the Earth, Reach the Sky. That's in your gray hymnals, hymn 301. Touch the Earth, Reach the Sky, number 301.
And the lyrics are all there.
Yeah.
I think we'll have an introduction before the lyrics start. Here we go.
And now we pass our offertory basket. All donations are gratefully welcomed. If you make automatic pledge payments, please paste one of the yellow cards indicated with this support into the basket. Thank you. Now our closing words. If I were to wish for anything, I should not wish for wealth and power, but for the passionate sense of the potential For the eye which, ever young and ardent, sees the possible. Pleasure disappoints, possibility never. And what wine is so sparkling, what so fragrant, what so intoxicating as possibility? And Hannah, I'll ask you to come back up now. And everyone else, please join me in reading the words provided for the extinguishing of the chalice. May our lives be reflections of the beauty, peace, and joy that is possible in the world, and may the love we find in this place sustain us as we go our separate ways. Now is the time for announcements. Does anyone have announcements?
Hi, everyone. I'm Megan. I have a couple of announcements. One of them is less of an announcement and more of an appeal, or maybe an announcement of an opportunity for leadership in the congregation. So we currently have a few vacancies that we really would love to fill. One of them is a very, well, they're all important, so I won't say one is very important, but it's a position on the board. So we have an open board or board of trustees membership position open that we would really love to fill. Generally, you do need to be a member of the congregation to serve on the board, but that's pretty much it. Willingness to spend a couple hours a month in a board meeting is preferable, as is a desire to help shape the future of this congregation, how things work here, and this runs the gamut from the really small things like, oh, we need to make sure there's toilet paper in the bathroom, to the bigger things like, how are we going to implement the revision to Article 2 in this congregation? What does that mean for us? So in other words, if you want to make a meaningful contribution to this congregation and you have been looking for an opportunity to do so, serving on the board is a great way to do that. So if you're interested, please talk to me or email me at president@mvuuc.org. We also are in need of a caring committee chairperson. Generally, this means that the caring committee is our group that tends to the congregation in times of need. So if somebody is sick, if there's a family emergency and they reach out to us for help, the caring committee tries to coordinate that help. And currently we are in need of a chair for that caring committee. So if you're interested, again, let me know, or you can email me at president@mvuuc.org. So yes, opportunities for contributing are always abundant in this congregation. Last announcement from me is Toledo Pride. So if it's not on your calendar yet, okay, there are two things, and this maybe should be a joint announcement between me and, yeah, come on up here, Lisa. So August 24th is a really, really, really big day because there are two big things happening on that day that we are in the difficult position of having to ask folks to choose one or the other. So Toledo Pride Parade is the first thing happening on, well, not the first, it's one of the things happening on August 24th. That parade is going to go from 12 to 1, and people are going to be gathering at about 11 a.m. in Toledo. We are marching with a coalition of over 20 other congregations from Northwest Ohio. So it's a really big deal. And there are details about this in the newsletter. But that is just one of the things happening on August 24th.
Obviously, a blood drive is also happening that day. When I scheduled it, I did not realize that the Pride Parade was the same day. And then it was too late to change it. So because of that, we are going to need a little extra help than we've had in the past. If you're not going to the parade, and we're not asking you to choose.
You can do both.
Right. Because the parade ends at 1, you could get back here in time to help us clean up, which is really the biggest place I need volunteers. Because the more people we have to clean up, the less time it takes. So, but also I could use some more food if people are interested in food, see me, send me an email or just see me after service. Well, donors, obviously. But yeah, you can go to the parade and then come back here and help us clean up if you'd like. If you're not planning to go to the parade, but you want to help with the blood drive, I could use your help definitely, because some of my usual volunteers will be at the parade during.
You could even volunteer in the morning and then go to the parade.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because I need a couple of volunteers in the morning from like 9 to 11 or, what time did you say the parade starts?
It starts at noon.
Noon. So you could do 9 to 11 and help me out at the blood drive and then go to the parade. So lots of options.
Yeah, so options are what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that they both happen at the same time,
Yeah.
but it's an opportunity for people to kind of step up and say like, okay, let's all get in there and help out. So, yeah.
And I do ask, if you would like to help me, I really appreciate it. And, but like, write it down on a piece of paper or email me, because you'll tell me and then I'll completely forget. So if I don't write it down, if you come up to me and I don't write it down, make me write it down.
Yay.
Thanks.
Awesome. And just this week, one of our congregation members posted on Facebook the fact that her dad had to have a blood transfusion just this past week. And she said, it really makes it so much more meaningful that Lisa does these blood drives every couple months, because, now my, dad has directly benefited from it. So there's always somebody out there who needs it. Bob, did you want to? Yeah.
This is an announcement I made a couple weeks ago. I'm just going to make it again because we did have some volunteers here from church. I not only a member of our church, but I'm also a Rotarian. And we, along with our Rotary in Bowling Green, along with Bowling Green State University, we are asking for volunteers. And what we're doing, the Rotary Club of Bowling Green and Bowling Green State University, through its athletic program, and the C. Raymond Marvin Center for Student Leadership and Civic Engagement, we're partnering with Kids Coalition Against Hunger to bring 400 volunteers together on July the 26th to package 70,000 meals for community and worldwide distribution. That seems like a lot of work, but we've already got about 400 or 500 volunteers, and we are asking for some more volunteers, and I think we even have a Unitarian team. We have about 12 or 13 people from our church is going to volunteer that day to work, and it's in 3 shifts. It's a startup in the morning, and it's at the Perry Field House right on Mercer Road, and lots of room there to park and to work there. And most of us, I think, are going to be working the second shift from 1 to make that the second shift, putting the food together. And that's at 10 to 12:30, and then you're relieved of your duties, and then a third shift comes in. But this 1/3 of these meals go to families that children need food here in the area in Ohio and elsewhere. A third of it goes to foreign countries overseas that needs food, and the other third is stored, and I'm not sure where, but in case of emergencies such as floods, hurricanes, or so forth, we can send meals to places like that. So if anybody is interested in volunteering, I've already got the people that are going to volunteer. All you have to tell me is just give me your name, your phone number, and your address, and I can get you registered. And I will probably give some more details next week, but I would probably even just call all our members just to make sure when to be there and how to go ahead. And again, we'll have a Unitarian team work together in putting these meals together. So hopefully we'll get some more volunteers. Thank you.
Colleen was mentioning like, hey, it's kind of a short service today, which is never a problem, by the way. But after service, in addition to coffee and conversation, I want to welcome everybody to the garden, the vegetable garden out back. Things are really going strong right now. And I haven't seen it in a week, so honestly, I'm going to be surprised by what's out there. So if you would like to check it out with me, just wander off back there. I'll lead you back there if you want, and we'll check it out together. Thanks.
Okay, well, I guess just the closing song then. All right, so yeah, so garden, or if you're more indoorsy, you can stay for coffee hour. So, all right.
Cozy rainy coffee hour.
Yeah.
Here is